Hi everyone, I am Sheekha Singh and welcome to the channel. I thought I'd try doing a live stream because I've been thinking about various ways to provide content and I'm right now in the experimenting stage. But today I have got some really good information for you guys. I read a lot of books and I thought, why not create an episode or a video on tips to get into the reading habit. So today I have 3 tips for you on how to start reading more and how to get into the habit of reading more books. The first tip that I have is figure out what genre you like. Because if you are someone who's into thriller, who's into sci-fi, you are going to hate reading romance books. You are going to hate reading a genre that doesn't fit in your likes section or the likes column. So figure out what genre you like. And the best way of doing that would be to find out what kind of movies, kind of documentaries you watch. Figure out what you like and figure out what attracts you. For example, if I had a book in front of you about thrillers and another one that was a romantic novel, which one would you choose? Which one would you be more gravitated towards? So the first step in building that habit would be to figure out what type of genre you like. Once you figure out what kind of genre you like, you need to start doing some research, or I'd say go back to the basics. Now, what that means is, for example, if you were someone who loved reading romance or who wants romantic novels, who likes romantic videos, romantic movies, everything romance, and you're not into reading books, then I would start with the classics. And by classics, don't go to the pre-Victorian romantic era novels. No, that's not a good place to start. Start with something that's been super popular, like The Notebook or there's so many, classic romance novels which have been converted to movies. So if you watch these movies and you're like, wow, yeah, this is good, then definitely the book is going to be way better. So go back to the basics and figure out what the classic novels were, and then pick one of them. Pick one which you're already familiar with, or you know what the story is, you know what the plot is, and you're like, yeah, I know how this is going to end. So that's going to be your best bet, because you want your first book, if you haven't read any novels before, then you want your first book to be memorable, and you want this to leave a long-lasting impression on you. So pick up a book that you're already familiar with, that you know what the plot is, and that you know is going to be something that you would love reading. Third, to build that habit, you need to wire your brain or your mind to take out time to read. It can be while you're drinking coffee. It can be while you're, if you're into audiobooks and you're like, yeah, I don't want to spend time and money on a physical book. I don't want to sit at one place. I'd rather get my walk in or my workout or an exercise in, and I want to listen to audiobooks. Do that. You do you. So I'd say start setting up a so start with what you like and dedicate at least 10 minutes. Start slow and start small. So my third tip is going to be dedicate time to build this reading habit. There's not going to be anything bad from it unless you're a student and you have exams and you're reading novels instead of reading textbooks. Don't do that. I do not suggest that. But if you're an adult and you have free time and you want to get into the reading habit and you want to start reading more and more beneficial stuff, it could be for whatever reason. It could be for your mental health. It could be for your self-growth, development, leadership, a test, whatever the reason is. Go figure out a way to fit 10 minutes in your daily schedule to dedicate to reading. And if you're someone who is super busy, always, all the time, then when you're going on a walk, pick up an audiobook, start an audiobook. Instead of music, listen to an audiobook. You won't even realize that you'd be 10 pages in, or you must have gone through like 20 pages of that book. Weekends are another place where you don't have to think about any other stuff. Just take time for yourself, just 10 minutes. Maybe you decide to watch a movie, but before that movie, just spend 10 minutes and say, okay, after 10 minutes, I'm going to turn on the TV and watch a movie. That 10 minutes, start a timer for 10 minutes, read a book, listen to a book, anything. So when you, and again, go through articles, just a simple Google search. There are also a lot of different apps like Goodreads and so many other apps these days that give you recommendation based on the genre that you like. And again, talk to friends. Talk to someone who's already a reader, who has a library. That could be another thing. Let's say you don't know what to read. Most of the times, that's the problem that people have. Where do I start? Which book do I pick up? What kind of book would I know that I would like? So experiment. Just pick up a book. If you are someone who do not have that patience to read 100 pages or 200 pages, then just go pick up a book from your friend and read the first 2 pages, or ask your friend if, based on how much they know you, are you going to enjoy that book or no? And then pick it up and have a deadline. You know how when you go to a library, you have a deadline of 2 weeks and then you have to return that book? Have a deadline. That way you'll force yourself to at least start reading something. And it's fine to stop in between, and you can be like, hey, I hated this. Reading is not for me, or this genre is not for me. For example, horror. I've just read, I think, 2 horror novels, and they were amazing. They were so good. And I did not realize that I would enjoy reading horror until I read that. Earlier, I'd be like, whenever I went to the library, I would never go to the horror aisle at all. You would never find me pick up a horror book or a book from the horror genre. But once I read that, it was, wow. I did not realize that I would actually get scared and chills just by reading horror, because all my life I thought horror is something that you need to experience with the sound effect, the lighting, the dialogues, the sudden movements, everything. But these books are amazing. So just figure out what genre you like, go ask your friends, talk to people, stick with the classics that you know have worked before. And it could even be a simple 50-page book. There are books that are short, sweet, and to the point. So go online. These days on Amazon, whenever you pick up a book, there's always going to be a section that says number of pages in the book and the font size and all of the details. So go pick up a book. And you can actually make a day out of going to the library. Who knows? You might actually enjoy the peace, the calm surroundings, and the smell of the books and everything. And you never know, you might meet someone special there too. So just take advantage of this and start reading. And I will update the description once it's done. But I hope you guys found something useful from it. If you want any suggestions for any of the genres, let me know. Science fiction, non-fiction, self-help, health-related books, romance, and let's say, what else do I have? I have a lot. I read a lot, and you can see that. I used to have a lot more books when I was in Omaha, and now that I've moved to a small town, I do have a lot more time on my hand. I started the YouTube channel, of course, but now I consciously make an effort to pick up a book and read. Yes, Kindles are great too. Physical books are great too. I love you if you're into physical books and reading physical books, because that feeling of turning a page, the smell of the old books, the experience is just heavenly. Only a reader is going to understand this. But I hope this was useful, and I hope you get into the habit of reading. Let me know if you have any questions or if you need any tips, suggestions, and I will give them. Thank you.